As the fight for Magna Leptoris continues, two gangs, both alike in misfortune, stumble into an underground market that has sprung up to serve the various treasure seekers in the ruins. The Gene Stealer cult, coming off multiple losses, badly need to acquire the resources they need to continue, and the Adeptus Mechanicus Venators also need resupply. Violence springs up almost immediately as the neutrality of the marketplace shatters. Fists and bullets fly as the AdMech and Gene Stealer cult open fire. Civilians scatter and occasionally fight. Gangers go down, and everything descends into mayhem. Welcome everyone to this episode 5 of the Magna Leptoris campaign. Apologies for how long it's taken me to get this recording up. Life has been pretty busy. This scenario is Marketplace Mayhem, a scenario in which the winner is the gang left standing. The scenario allows gang members to be deployed anywhere in the central area at least 3 inches away from one enemy gang member. Additionally, no rapid fire, no attacks of over strength 5, no blasts, and no templates are allowed. Gangers are not allowed to coup de grace a downed opponent. Additional rules in this scenario are civilians using the rules from Bar Brawl, and there are 2 power loaders and a crane, each of which can be operated with intelligence checks to make attacks.
So here we are playing the Market Mayhem battle. The market is set for those who have arrived at the city too late. They are here to restock, garner what small amount of resources they can before they try to delve into the city to actually find some treasure. And here we are with the marketplace set. 2 rival gangs have showed up to do business, and things have quickly deteriorated as the Gene Stealer cult and the Adeptus Mechanicus prepare to do battle in Market Mayhem. No one understands why, but everyone's going to die. So with the civilians in the marketplace, it's a slight modification on Market Mayhem to add a bit more flavor, and these civilians will act as per the other scenario with civilians, the Bar Brawl. So on a D6 they'll do different actions, and they'll be controlled by the player with priority. Rolling priority, Gene Stealer cult get a 2, and Adeptus Mechanicus will take priority with a 5. So we have the first activation from the AdMech. Their leader activates and fires into Spar with his shock rifle. He is BS 2 plus. It is close range, so he will hit on a 2. He somehow fails to score a hit. He does, however, have fast shot, so he can make a second shot. Second shot is successful. Roll to see if he sets him ablaze on a 4 plus. He is on fire, and then roll to see if you wound. Strength 5, toughness 3. Successfully wounds as well. Spar has flak armor. It is AP 1, cuts right through that. Injury die is rolled. Roll an injury die. Serious injury. Spar goes down. Falls down in the middle of the market. That's what he gets for standing on a bunch of crates like a noob. Upset about that, Romero activates and immediately charges the AdMech leader. Total of 5 inches, which is enough to get up the stairs and engage him. With 3 arms, he'll be rocking 4 attacks on the charge. Weapon skill is 3, needing 3s to hit. Gets 4 hits. Strength is only 3, needing 4s to wound. Only gets 2 wounds, leaving a 4-up save from Carapace armor for the leader of the AdMech. Makes 1, fails 1. He has 1 wound remaining on the AdMech leader. So we activate a civilian, rolling a d6 on a 1, 2, or 3. That civilian will retreat. It's a 4. She will instead take a immediate shot with her stub gun at the nearest fighter, which looks to be this guy right there. So ID 10T is about to get shot in the face by a civilian on a 4+. Does not hit. Ammo check for her as well. Next activation is the AdMech. They activate their hunt champion, who immediately fires in the Codswaddle's side. He is at close range. He will need a 2 to hit. He does successfully hit. It is strength 5 versus toughness 4, so he needs a 3 to wound. It does not wound. He does, however, have fast shot, so he can shoot again. Firing again, he does score a hit because it is close range, needing a 3 to wound. Successfully wounds. It is AP 1, so Codswaddle will have a 6-up save from mesh armor, which he fails. Codswaddle takes 1 damage and is knocked prone. Correction, that is damage 2. So Codswaddle takes an injury die. And takes a flesh wound. Zenobia activates, and she immediately casts Mind Control on the nearest Adeptus Mechanicus individual. She gets a 6 and fails to have it trigger. For her second action, she is going to move back 4 inches into cover. The civilian activates. On a 1, 2, or 3, he will flee. On a 4, 5, or 6, he will make an attack. It's a 4. He's going to make a shooting attack against the nearest fighter, which is Zenobia. She is in cover due to the barricade, however, so rolling to hit. Ammo die 2. He misses. Ammo die is failed, so he needs to do an ammo check. Failed, so he is out of ammo with his stub pistol. The next AdMech fighter activates, turns around, and fires at Zenobia.
Yep.
He's going to need a 3 to hit because it is close range. He's firing shock rounds with his autogun. Either one hits, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and please roll an ammo die.
Did not mean to do that.
Does score a hit because there is no rapid fire anyway. So go ahead and roll the wound. You do knock her prone. Strength of that is still just 3, right?
I think so.
So she is not prone. She is not wounded.
Just need to look at me.
Down here, we activate Cash, who moves up through the open doorway, staying somewhat in cover, and he fires up at the plasma gunner for the AdMech. It is not close range. He is ballistic skill 4, and it is cover, needing a 5. He fails to hit. So rolling for the civilian, activating 1, 2, or 3, she'll run away. So she's going to run away from any fighters that she can see. She'll move 4 inches here, and then move behind the boxes, getting into cover. Next, we have an activation from ID 10T, who charges around. He needs to roll a D6, or D3 rather, and add that to his move of 4. Total of 5 inches. So he's got to make a 5-inch charge. So he comes up just short of Codswaddle with a shock stave. Codswaddle on his activation stands up. Not being able to charge, he will instead move into cover. Here. Staying an inch out. We have an activation of this civilian. She activates on a d6. What does she do? 2. She will immediately run away from any fighter she can see. So she'll make a 4-inch move and open the door, trying to escape. Next activation, we have the last AdMech behind the door activating and moving. To the door.
Yep.
And opens the double doors. Over here we have Dupree activating, and he's going to charge the dwarf, trying to basically get him out of the way so he can take control over the crane. With 2 attacks hitting on 4s, fails both times. The dwarf gets response attacks. Gets one attack in return with his maul. He successfully hits on a 6 and wounds on a 2, as this is a power maul. Does successfully wound. It's AP 1. Dupree has a 5-up save reduced to a 6-up save. He fails. He takes a wound, rolling the flesh wound. Or rolling the wound save. He is KO'd.
Stay away from the door. Stay away.
Dupree gets a 25 and he is knocked out cold. Fresh off his victory of bludgeoning a Gene Stealer cultist into unconsciousness, the dwarf Forge Master activates, rolling a d6 to determine what he randomly does. On a 2, he decides he's had enough of this and will flee as fast as his stout little legs can take him. Moving 3 inches down, and another 3 inches down. Running for cover.
That was too close.
With the Gene Stealer cults, the only other thing they can do right now is have Spar crawl towards cover in the vain hopes of not being taken out. So this civilian opens fire with his shotgun on the nearest, which is one of the AdMech. He needs a 4 to hit with his shotgun. Successfully hits. It is strength 4 versus toughness 3. Will wound on a 3. Successfully wounds. Armor save to make on mesh armor.
Is it minus?
Shotgun is -1, I think, but go ahead and roll it. He successfully makes his armor save, but he is not prone. He immediately fails his initiative test and falls to the floor right at the feet of a Gene Stealer cult member. So for this civilian here, we rolled a 6. He's going to immediately charge this nearest enemy fighter. He has a knife and a pistol. Cannot fail that charge. Rolling his attacks, he's going to have 2 attacks with his knife, 1 with his pistol. So 2 attacks with the knife and 1 with the pistol. Here's an ammo pack. They're all hits. Pistol's not out of ammo. They are all strength 3 versus toughness 3, so 4 is to wound. And the fighting knife is AP of 1. So 1 wound from the knife, AP 1. He does have light carapace armor, so on a 4+, on a 5+, rather, he's fine because of the 1 AP. That is failed. He takes 1 wound. So this civilian takes a shot at the nearest enemy fighter, which is Codswaddle. He hits on a 4 normally, but it's heavy cover with the crate in the way, so hits on a 6. Does not hit, has an ammo check, which is passed. Gene Stealer Cult have a bottle check. On a 6, they will bottle. They do not. The Adeptus Mechanicus have not lost anyone, so they don't need to make a bottle check. Here's where we are at the end of round 1. Civilians scattering, some of them attacking. We have 2 Gene Stealer Cult members injured. Codswaddle had gotten up and Spar has recovered with a flesh wound rolling over. We have combat engaged over here, and we have reinforcements in the form of more Adeptus Mechanicus about to charge in and start breaking heads. Roll for priority. This one will be important because a lot of these come down to who can shoot or charge first. 6 from the Gene Stealer cult. 5 from Admech. Having initiative, having priority, Codswaddle activates and immediately charges the Admech ID 10T, swinging his power pick with vigor. Swinging his power pick with 3 attacks on charge, he hits on 3s, so he has 2 hits. This is a power weapon, so on 6s there was no save allowed. He wounds once with high strength. It is a power pick. It is AP -2, so he will have no save, and it'll go straight to damage. It is 1 injury die from the power pick, and it's a flesh wound. ID 10T gets an attack back, gets a 6 to hit with a shock stave, automatically wounding. AP value is 0. Mesh armor gives a 5-up save, which is failed, and he takes a injury die. Go ahead and roll. Taking another flesh wound. D30 RG is going to activate and make a charge, trying to save his friend from the mighty Codswaddle. He needs a maximum charge to reach, so rolling the D3, he comes up a little bit short. Down here, civilian activates. On a 1, 2, or 3, he's going to try and run away. Instead, a 5, he's going to continue to fight. He makes 2 attacks, one with his pistol, which hits, and one with his knife, which misses. His pistol is just an auto pistol, fails to wound, and he's not out of ammo. So, reaction attacks back, weapon skill 5 from the Adeptus Mechanicus Plasma Gunner. And 5 to hit, he misses. Next, we have an activation by this Admech Plasma Gunner. He is going to attempt to withdraw. Making his initiative check, he passes. He's immediately going to move D6 away from the engaged fighter, which is 3 inches away. We activate civilian here in the back near Zenobia. He gets a 1. He immediately runs away, terrified of the Gene Stealer Witch. Seeing an opportunity, moving up, Cash moves to the vehicle and does an intelligence check to see if he can get it operational. With a total of 9, he does successfully activate the power loader, which moves directly forward 5 inches, requiring an initiative check on the Admech, lest he be squashed. He fails. He immediately takes a single strength 3 hit, which successfully wounds. He has his Carapace armor save 4+, which is an ammo roll. And he makes his armor save, but he is knocked prone.
It's alright.
As the vehicle crashes into him.
Roll.
Over here, we have the leader of the Admet activating and making his attacks into Romero, the Gene Stealer champion. Attacks. 1 attack, hitting on a 4+. Misses. The Gene Stealer attacks back with 3 arms. Is able to make 3 successful hits. Strength 3 versus toughness 3. He needs 4s to wound. He only wounds 1 more time. No AP, so the leader of the AdMech has a 4-up Carapace armor save. That is passed. The epic battle continues. Zenobia activates next. She gets to her feet and she moves forward 4 inches, trying to get in position to do something. So ID 10T activates, swinging his shock stave and using his pistol against Codswaddle, hitting on 5s. Successfully hits with the pistol. No ammo check required. It is strength 5. Codswaddle has taken 2 flesh wounds, so he will wound on 2s. Successfully wounds. There is no AP to the weapon, so on a 5+, he makes a save. He does make his save. Codswaddle makes his 2 attacks back, hitting on 3s, and fails to hit both times. Not a good day for the Gene Stealer cult. Next Gene Stealer cult activation is their Romero. He's going to make 3 attacks with his mini arms. He hits 3 times. He is strength 3, wounding on 4s. 2 saves for the leader of the AdMech. 4+ save because of Carapace armor.
Make him. I made 1, so that's not gonna.
He fails 1. He takes an injury roll and goes down seriously injured. There is no ability to coup de grace or finish off an injured fighter, so Romero will have to move on. Activation. We have an activation of this AdMech gunner. He stands up and immediately fires into the back of the Gene Stealer cultist right in front of him. Hitting on a 3 due to range. Successfully hits. No rapid fire. Wounding on a 4. Successfully wounds. Gene Stealer cultist has a 6-up save. Fails. Injury dice is rolled. Seriously injured. So in the remaining activations, we had a civilian charge down, engage Spar, hit him, wound him, fail his armor save, and Spar goes down, doing the injury roll. Now he is seriously injured. He has an initiative check to not fall down, which he passes. Also charging is the civilian armed with a shotgun. He made a whopping 3 on his charge, so we'll see how it does. 2 attacks, hitting on 4s. 1 hits, strength 3 versus toughness 3. He wounds. Zenobia has a psychic familiar, which she will use for the first hit. Ignores that hit. She will immediately follow that up with 1 attack of her own. Or 2 attacks of her own, rather. Weapon skill is 4. She hits twice with her shock stave. Rolling to wound. She wounds twice with her shock stave. He makes a flak armor save and goes down. Taken out. So the AdMech took their bottle test and rolled a 5, which means they have bottled. Rolling the first cool test, they got a 5 for G30RG, so he is gone. Rolling a cool check now for ID 10T. ID 10T is fine with a 6. Rolling for their leader, who is seriously injured. He's fine. Rolling for their auto gun armed hunter Venator. No matter what the other die was, he's fine. And rolling for their plasma gun champion. He decides that discretion is the better part of valor after being attacked by a power loader and decides to depart the battle. We did a recovery roll for the leader of the AdMech. It was not a good one. We're now rolling the D66 to see what happened. 54. That's not good. 54 is multiple injuries. The fighter is not dead but has suffered many serious wounds. Roll a further D3 times on this table, re-rolling any results of captured multiple injuries, memorable death, critical injury, or out cold. So go ahead and roll a D3. So 1 additional. So go ahead and roll. Re-rolling that. Re-rolling. Just keep re-rolling, dude. $46. He's hobbled. He goes into recovery and has movement decreased by 1. Priority roll. With a 6, it goes to the Gene Stealer cult. Gonna activate with Zenobia. She is immediately going to charge down with a 1 on a D3. That's a total of 5 inches. We'll check and see if she can make it. Thanks to a helpful set of crates, she's able to reach 1 inch to make her attacks. 3 attacks with her shock stave. She hits once, rolling to wound. She needs a 3 and fails to wound. He immediately gets his attack back, hitting on a 5 and failing to hit. We have an activation by the Adeptus Mechanicus. He's going to turn to face and attack. He will get 1 attack hitting on a 5. Fails to hit. Zenobia attacks back, hitting on 4s. Successfully hits once, wounding on a 3 with her shock stave. Does wound. AP is only -1. He has mesh armor, so he'll save on a 6+. Does not save. Injury die. Takes a flesh wound. We have a 6 on the activation for the civilian. She charges Codswaddle from behind with a pistol and a close combat weapon. She's rocking a total of 3 attacks, 2 with her close combat weapon, which she misses, and 1 with her pistol, which hits. The pistol, because he's wounded, only needs a 4 to wound. Successfully wounds him. He does need a save. Failed the save. Injury die is rolled on Codswaddle, and he takes a flesh wound. He is now back down to toughness 2. Romero activates, and he's going to charge the AdMech from behind. Can't fail the charge. He's going to go ahead and make 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. 2 hits, wounding on 3s because he has a flesh wound. Doing 1 wound. Armor save 5+ for ID 10T as he's struck from behind. He makes his armor save. ID 10T activates, and he makes his 2 attacks, 1 with pistol, 1 with stave.
Here, you wanna give me one of your black dice?
He successfully hits with the stave. He will wound on a 3+. Actually 2+, because Codswaddle has 2 flesh wounds. Successfully wounds. Codswaddle has a 5-up save. But shock stave is AP1, isn't it? Codswaddle makes his reaction attacks. Hitting once. Wounding successfully with a power weapon, no save allowed. Going straight to an injury die on the power pick. It's a serious injury as ID10T goes down.
No.
There's no coup de grace allowed in this scenario, so they will just have to move on. So on this turn, Genestealer Colt rolls a 5 and they bottle. So now we're going to do cold saves first for the remaining 2 AdMechs for ID10T, who is seriously injured. He is fine, and cool check for his mate. Also fine. Cool check for Codswaddle. Codswaddle is going to run away. He's tired of being attacked. Cool check for Romero. Romero stays. His staying also means that Spar will stay. And then only cool check remaining is for Zenobia, who passes her cool on a cells. Priority rolls for the next turn. Genestealer Colt got a 3, and Adeptus Mechanicus win the tie because Genestealer had it last turn. So we have an activation over here from the AdMech. They get 1 attack from close combat weapon. Hitting on a 5. Does manage to hit. Strength 3 versus toughness 3, wounding on a 4. Successfully wounds. She is going to use her Psychic Familiar to try and negate the first hit. She fails. She has a Mesh Armor save, which she also fails. She had 1 wound already, so she will now take an injury dice roll to see what happens. And she takes a flesh wound. Her 2 attacks back. She fails to hit. Zenobia is immediately going to take her action, attempting to revenge herself. She scores 1 hit with her shock stave, scores 1 wound, and he will have a Mesh Armor save, 5+, which he fails. Injury die roll, seriously injured, and he goes down. We have an activation from ID10T, who gets up and he makes his 4-inch move over to here, trying to move over here and take down Zenobia. Over here, the Genestealer Cult activates, and Romero charges the fleeing ID10T as he sees it. Charging, he gets 4 attacks. He hits on 3s, so he scores 3 hits. Strength is 3, however, with 2 flesh wounds, his toughness is 2. Wounding on 3s, 2 successful wounds against ID10T, who has Mesh Armor saves on 5+. Both of those are failed. At this point, as both fighters are seriously injured, we'll go immediately to the end phase and recovery, because if neither of them recover, it is game.
Does he need to recover?
Yeah, he went down with a serious injury as well. I can't lay him on his front because he's got all that stuff. So, recovery for ID10T. Needs to be a...
Oh, I see what you
when we die.
mean.
Yeah. So he stays down, and for the other one, he actually rolls over with a flesh wound.
Let's do that.
With both the fighters down, the AdMech decides that discretion is the better part of valor and retreat, leaving the battlefield and the market and all its plunder for the Gene Stealer cult, who are also horribly mangled.
That wraps up the game with the Cult of the Silent taking the win in Marketplace Mayhem. This game had a lot of back and forth through what was essentially just 3 turns. The civilians caught in the crossfire added a lot of randomness to the game, and the inability to make use of templates, blasts, and heavier weapons really impacted things. At the bottom of turn 1, it really looked like the Gene Stealer cult were on the ropes, but then a couple of failed saves and the AdMech turned it all around. MVP for this was the Cult of the Silent with Champion Romero, who effectively took out 2 of the AdMech with just his fists, not being able to use his mining laser for the whole game. MVP for the AdMech was ID10T, who had the best showing for the game, which unfortunately isn't saying much as the AdMech had terrible luck from turn 2 onward. The game effectively knocks AdMech out of the campaign. Without resources, they cannot continue, and their best option is to limp back to civilization, defeated and humiliated. The Gene Stealer cult, even though they came out with a win, is still at a disadvantage. Bottling there at the end decreased their rapid bad rolls, and the post-battle credits gave them less than the AdMech rolled up. This was a fun battle to record, especially with the crazy actions of many of the civilians. The Squat Forge Master one-shotting a Gene Stealer cult ganger out the door was one of the craziest moments for sure. That's all for now. Please do all the YouTube requisite stuff, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.